Hello, dear polymer clay enthusiasts. My name is Michaela, and as promised, I bring you fresh inspiration for your work with polymer clay. For today, I prepared a Faux Plique Jour enamel project, and we will be working with the idea of transparency, which is the central idea for Plique Jour enamel. And we are going to achieve this transparency using translucid clay, and I am using Cernit translucid clay and a mixture of triple thick glaze and mica powders. But keep in mind that we are using a lot of triple thick glaze and rather a small quantity of mica powder to have rather a gel, not a paste consistency. But we'll talk about this more later. If you know my projects, you know maybe the fact that I'm using Oyumaru a lot in my work with polymer clay, and this is a reusable molding putty, and I like this compound a lot. It is a Japanese molding compound, and it is very easy to use. You just take the bars and you drop them into hot water. You leave them for, I don't know, 30-40 seconds. You check their consistency, and when you notice that they softened, you can take them out and use them to mold any piece that you like to mold. In my case, I decided to make a mold of a butterfly stamp. I've already tried this idea for other projects, and I liked the result that I got. So why not considering using your stamps and making molds, and then use these molds to make beautiful polymer clay jewelry pieces. So I am working with Cernit translucent polymer clay that I previously conditioned and that I rolled through the medium setting of my Imperia pasta machine. Then I used an Art Nouveau texture plate, and I textured this sheet of polymer clay. Then I folded it in half because I wanted to have the texture on the front and on the back of the frame that is going to be used to make the base of the earring. And then I used a larger cutter and a smaller round cutter to make a hollow a negative space in the middle of my earring frame. I used my hands to soften the edges because I'm not going to sand the pieces after baking. And then I tried to have a rather oval, hollow space in the middle of the frame. I followed the exact same steps, and I've made a second frame because we are going to make a pair of earrings. And when you are working on earrings, I think it is important to work on the two earrings, I would say in the same time, meaning that you'll have to make the first step for the first earring, and then you do the same step for the second earring, and then you can go to the next stage of the process, but it is easier if you are working on both earrings, and it's easier to make sure that they look alike. Next I'm going to use the mold, and I've also used some gold gilding foil that I put inside the mold, and then I pressed the polymer clay into the mold as well, and I flipped the mold, and I also pressed it against my working table because I wanted to have a flat back on the molded piece. And then using your craft knife, you just have to trim off the excess clay. Sometimes the foil, the metallic foil, cracks, and if this happens, you can take scrap foil and cover the spots where you would want to have foil on top of the polymer clay. Again, you'll have to smooth a little bit the edges. And as I said, you can always add more scrap foil to decorate spots of your polymer clay pieces. And I decided to add some foil on the margins as well. As you can see, it is very easy to work with a gold gilding foil in my case. You just have to press it a little bit into the polymer clay, and you have to remember that when you are using such foils, you will have to protect your jewelry pieces after baking them. So using a varnish to protect your pieces is a must when you are working with such foils. I decided to add some Fimo Gold mica powder on the sides and on the back. But if I would redo the project now, I think I would not add mica powder on the sides and on the back. I would just texture a little bit the back, but I would leave it translucent. I think it has even more beautiful effect in the finished piece. So it's up to you to decide if you want to add some mica on the sides and on the back, or if you want to skip this step in the process. So as I said, I'm going to do the same thing, to repeat the same steps to make the decoration for um, the other earring. And I used a cutter and I cut 6 units of polymer clay because I want to make sure that I'm using the same amount of polymer clay. I'm making sure that I have the shape that I want to press into the mold, because I don't want to pull too much on the clay, because this will force the foil to crack. So as you can see, I pressed very gently the foil into the mold, and then I applied the polymer clay inside of the mold, and then I press gently on the clay to make sure that the details of the mold are well impressed into the polymer clay. And then I'm taking off the scrap clay, and sometimes I manage to have enough foil to decorate the edges. So for the first attempt, when I first tried out this idea, I managed to cover the sides as well, so I didn't have to use mica, and I think that it rendered very well. And then you'll just have to use your craft knife and cut out the molded form. You'll have to smooth the edges. It looks like that I cut off too much, so I have to repair my butterfly shape. So even though it seemed like a good idea to add mica on the sides and on the back, now I would say I would rather skip this step. And I would rather use a texture plate or a sponge to texture a little bit the back of the butterfly. So it looks like my butterfly wings were not equal in size. So I'm trying to reduce the wing. And then I decided to keep the wings as they are, and hoping that this won't be very visible in the final earrings. Because of the fact that I added mica on the back, I had to use some Kato poly clay as a bonding agent to glue the butterfly to my frame. For the first two attempts, I did not use mica, so I just pressed the butterfly onto the base because, as you know, raw polymer clay sticks naturally to raw polymer clay. You don't need to add any bonding agent. As you can see, I had to lift the wings and try to position them in different areas until I was happy with the result. And by doing this, I had some mica on top of the Art Nouveau impression. And this is the reason for which I would rather not use mica for the back of the butterfly, because I prefer the look of the baked translucent clay without the mica on top. Don't forget to poke holes. Of course, you can you can drill holes after baking the pieces if you prefer. And in case you want to take off some of the mica, you can use baby wipes. So when I was happy with the look of the earrings, I put them on baking foil, and then I tinted them with a cooking pan, I think, with a metallic pan. And then I baked them for 30 minutes at the temperature recommended by the polymer clay manufacturer. As I said, I'm working with Cernit. But if you are using a different brand, I don't know, you might want to leave your pieces in the oven for 45 minutes. And then I used eyeshadow mica powders. And I will make a mixture that is going to look rather like a gel, so it's gonna be a little bit transparent. And I'm working with turquoise, with purple, 2 shades of pink, so I mixed the color and triple thick glaze into a gel consistency. And then I used a brush to apply this colored gel, I would say, on top of my butterfly wings. I think this is the best part of the project. Playing with colors is always fun. And as you can see, when you are working, when you are using for the projects that allow it, of course, when you are using eyeshadow micas, you have a lot of shades, colors, and thus endless possibilities of mixing them together. And it gets very, very interesting, and it's a wonderful experience, especially if you like painting your jewelry pieces. As I said, I tried to make a mixture with a lot of triple thick glaze and a small amount of color to have transparent colored gel consistency. And I used these colors to make a beautiful pattern on top of the polymer clay butterflies, and of course on top of the gold gilding foil. I noticed that the colors would darken a little bit while baking. But anyway, when you are working with such beautiful colors and with this kind of mixing technique, I'm sure that regardless of the colors that you are using, you will get beautiful results, because they are beautiful to start with. They have mica inside, they are a little bit shiny, you've got very pale pastel colors to work with. So it's up to you to choose the color combination, the color combo that suits you the best. Then I decided to finish this I would say Art Nouveau inspired design, and I decided to use some rhinestones, and in order to have a very nice glazing on top of the butterfly, and also in order to be able to use rhinestones, I poured a layer of triple thick glaze, and then I just pressed the rhinestones into this layer of triple thick glaze, glossy glaze. Keep baby wipes handy, you will need them to repair things to wipe up, I don't know, triple thick liquids or mica powder in areas where you didn't want to have mica. I love rhinestones, so as a result I use them a lot in my work with polymer clay. And for this project I decided to press them inside the triple thick and capture them in the triple thick glossy glaze. Don't forget to use transparent varnish to protect the sides of the butterflies. Then I let the colored mixture dry, and I allowed it to dry. I don't know, I waited for 5 or 6 hours. And then I decided that I wanted to add more color in some areas, so I prepared the same kind of colored mixture, and I applied a second layer on top of the first layer, but only in some areas of the design. I wanted to cover some golden areas. So keep in mind that you can always add another layer on top of the first layer and play a little bit more with the colors, or cover more areas of your project. And also I decided to add a little bit more triple thick glossy glaze, because I really wanted to make sure that the rhinestones are well trapped inside the triple thick and they are not easily coming out of my piece. And then you have to let them dry again for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. And then you can use them in your projects. You can use them to make pendants, to make earrings. And in order to make an earring, I used a larger jump ring, a smaller jump ring, and an earring finding. And I attached them all together, and these are the finished earrings. Thank you for watching my tutorial. I hope you found it inspiring. I hope you'll take these ideas and use them in your work with polymer clay. Don't forget to check on the polymer clay adventure, and if you are not already a member, I hope you will decide to join us and meet us in the inside the polymer clay adventure. Thank you again, and please subscribe to my channel, press the like button if you liked my tutorial, and please share your impressions with me. Thank you.